So funny. Oh, oh my gosh,
the other
it's
team's
so
like,
funny.
jeez,
So
I couldn't kill him.
I got a 90. I had the highest score over everyone.
Mm-hmm.
I got 11 assists and 8 kills, so I had the most. I was responsible for the most deaths of anyone on the field. I scored the most points except for two people on the field. Just like so. I don't even know what to say. So
and
funny.
they all wanted to quit.
And they all just want to quit. Oh, we can't win this game no
There's
more.
no way, we aren't doing well.
We're just gonna quit. No.
Don't do that. I'm doing well.
We'll be fine. You big dumb dorks.
So Mike.
So Tyler.
I got a flu shot yesterday.
Why?
I don't know. It hurt.
Well, yeah, it's a shot. Do you know what a shot is?
Oh my gosh.
It's where they
and I had to
take
do
a
it in front of
needle.
my kids because we all went at the same time and we went
Are you like terrified of needles?
Yes.
I was gonna say, like, I feel like I remember this where you, like, that's an actual, like, legit phobia of yours.
Yep.
Yeah.
I couldn't, when I went on my mission, like, as I'm going to the MTC, I'm going into the MTC, they realized I didn't have a shot. Right? I didn't have one of my shots.
Bro.
And so, it's already, like, a terrible day.
Right. It's already hard.
Yeah, it's already a hard day. And then they tell me, okay, you need to go into this room for your shot. And I'm like, I'm not getting a shot.
Nope.
And they're like, well, you can get the shot right now, or you can take an oral pill for the next 45 days, and you can't miss a day. And you can't, like, I'm like, I'm not on birth control.
So ridiculous.
So I'm like, F it. I am getting the shot. So I sat there, and then they brought out this needle. At least the size of my arm. And I'm like, dude, that's gonna go through me.
What is that? The tetanus? Was it the tetanus shot?
I don't remember.
Was it the one that was like super thick?
Yeah.
Like peanut butter?
Yeah.
That was in your arm? Yeah, that's tetanus.
And my arm was sore for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah. That sounds like tetanus.
Oh my gosh.
You went to Mexico, so that sounds about right.
Yep.
Hey, Zara Aura, I would like some experience too, okay? Thank you. Thank you. Come again.
Yeah, so yesterday we had an appointment with the pediatrician. And the lady up front is like, well, it's time for your flu shot. It's time for your kids' flu shots. And while we're at it, do you want your flu shots? And my wife says yes. And I said, are you crazy? You want to put me in front of my kids, in front of my phobia,
right?
Like to show them how scared I am.
So funny.
So
it didn't go well, huh? So you made a fool of yourself, is what you're saying.
I most certainly did not hyperventilate and nearly cry. Because...
So funny. You're like a sweet baby boy.
And Cameron's like, Cameron, who takes a shot every 3 days, like...
Right.
Like...
It's nothing to her.
Yeah.
She's just like, I
what?
do this every day. All the days.
Yeah.
Like, I literally have nothing for you, Daddy.
I'm like sitting there, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is...
So funny.
So my arm's been sore from a frickin' flu shot for the last 2 days.
Oh, that's funny.
Because I'm a wuss and I tensed.
That's so cute.
So
That's so cute.
Man, there's just nothing you can do about your phobias.
Yeah,
At least
not really.
to me.
Like, I mean, maybe the only thing I think you maybe could do is exposure. So, like, I'm terrified of airplanes. Like, hate them. Like, I hate flying. But I, will be flying in December to go to Disneyland. So it's like I never like not do it, even though I am scared of planes.
Sure.
But so I've exposed myself tons of times to it, and it never changed. I'm still scared of them. Like, it never changes it.
Right.
It never makes it better.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. The weird thing is, I have gained a new phobia of heights.
That's funny.
Like, since I was a kid, like, all through my teenage years, I was fine with heights. Like, I didn't love them, but
Right.
I wasn't afraid of them. But since I've had my family, like,
I definitely am like
It's-
heights. So I get up on the roof, but I hate it. Like,
Yeah.
I cannot stand it. And like, I wouldn't, like, Brittany wanted like lights up when my parents lived here while their house was getting built for like a season. And it was like, my dad did the lights, and it's like, I'm not going, because it's like, for me, I'll go up on the roof if like, so I put like some of that what is it, that stuff that like seals everything, and it has the infomercial guy,
the
Flex Seal.
yeah,
And so like, I went up there and put like Flex Seal on what I think are like spots on the roof that need it.
yeah,
But so I'll do that, right? That's fine, not a big deal. But I will not do things that are just like for the sake of, like lights or
Right.
whatever. It's like, no, I'm not doing that. Like, I'm not risking getting hurt just so that we can have Christmas lights.
right,
Not doing that. I don't take risks anymore.
yeah,
Like, I don't need it. I don't need that in my life. I just don't.
yeah, exactly. Like,
Oh my gosh.
I've gained that phobia not because of the heights. It's because of what it'd do if I did something stupid.
Right.
You
Or
know?
just like, a strong breeze came. Like
Yeah.
something that's innocuous that doesn't even mean anything.
Yeah, yeah. It's crazy. Phobias are crazy. And
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. So I have a scooter, and like, and I love riding it. Like, I love it. It is one of my favorite things to do. But every time I go on it, like, thinking about going on it, right? So if I sit there and I think to myself, and I just start thinking about it, I freak out, and I just start getting anxious about it. As soon as I'm on it, I'm fine. Like, I'm fine. I feel comfortable. I feel safe. I haven't had any issues. I got a good helmet. Like,
oh man,
I'm
they
smart
are
about it,
coming
and so
after
it's just
you.
like, so I'm good.
Uh-huh.
But thinking about it is like, I just think of all the things that can happen, and so then I get like anxious about it.
Yeah,
And it's just like, and it happens every time. Every time I get on it, I think about all the bad things that could happen, and then when I'm on it, and I will ride it on the road. I do all the stuff. Like, there's nothing it's not like I'm going just on back roads and stuff. I ride it far away from the house, and like,
yeah, yeah,
I don't know what it is.
yeah. It's no, and I
Alright,
get it.
Decidueye, get out of there. Get out. Yep. There we go. See? You're welcome. Just get out, Decidueye. You're fine. You're fine. Unless you can hit these. If you can hit these shots, that'd be great. But if not, yeah.
Oh man.
There we go. Yeah. Do that.
Guy's doing well.
Yeah. This works. See, and then he's dead. Yeah. Perfect. See? See?
See, good teamwork.
That's good teamwork. Got you out, then we stayed and fought, and we had some fun. Made some memories. Yeah.
Good fight.
See? Now those guys are gonna die. Oh,
Faint.
Good, Zeraora.
Faint. Pokemon don't die.
Oh, shut your mouth. Shut your dirty mouth. Did you just try to teach me something about video games? Know your place.
Was I not correct?
Know your place. Pokemon can die. Now, obviously, it is fainting is like the thing.
I think
What
I'm
else is
funny,
it? It's
dude.
like, what is it's like, what's an example of something that's like kind of like that? I can't think of it right now, but it's just like any, it's like saying, it's a difference between like saying who and whom. It's like, that's the equivalent of what you just did. It's whom.
No, it's there.
Yeah.
And not there.
There. It's not y'all, it's you all. That's the equivalent of what you just did right there, Tyler. I hope you're proud of yourself.
I am.
I hope you
I hope-
never are allowed to sleep ever again. That's your
Oh,
punishment.
I don't sleep.
Oh, good, Venusaur. Why? Oh, good job, Cinderace. Cinderace is just like, oh, I'll just do it myself. It's
No
fine.
one else is coming.
It's fine.
I got it covered.
I'm good.
You're like, oh, okay.
Well, normally I would be like, that would not have been. Oh crap! That was not the right play. Killing Cinderace would have been the right play. I wonder that worked out because we have a better Cinderace. So that's basically that's what he can do. So I used to be a Cinderace main, and that's his whole thing is like he can just burn down. He can just burn Rayquaza down. Like, it used to be Zapdos. He just burns it down, like, super fast. And so, the problem with that, though, is like, if you're not contained, like, in the right spot, it can, like, he'll start trying to take it, and then they notice he's taking it, and then they kill him, and then they, steal it. So that happens, like, all the time, right? And so... But he actually did the smart thing. So Mewtwo went out, and he was, people were really concerned about him. So then, being concerned about him, they just got, taken away from it. And so Cinder's like, oh, okay, well, I'll just do this.
No one else is around.
Yeah, and so then it was. That was actually really smart. It worked out. It could have been really bad, but it worked out, so that's okay.
Right.
Sometimes you make a play and you're just like, well, I'm going to make a play. It's not a great play. It's maybe kind of a 50-50 play, but we'll see what happens. That's not always terrible, I guess. And he made the right play because people weren't there. And then I was taking, I wasn't even actually in the middle yet at the point when he was doing it. And so he just was like, cool. Yeah.
Well
I'll give
done.
you a good job, and I like you saying thank you to me. Mewtwo, you're dead to me. You're dead to me. Oh, brother. Hope you die in a ditch.
You don't deserve
You don't deserve this.
my love.
Don't deserve my love.
Oh.
I will
So,
scoop.
have you watched any baseball this year?
I mean, every year. So let me tell you about baseball. Okay, let me tell you about baseball.
Like, why is it
So
so
I-
unwatchable right now?
I coach baseball, right? But because baseball is probably the sport I was best at growing up. But baseball was never good to me, ever. Like,
Yeah.
I had terrible experiences with baseball, and it wasn't the sport, but everything that came with the sport. And like, what I loved was football. That's what I loved, was football.
Right.
I think this team would actually do better with Slowbro. And so that's what I really wanted to play, but then I just didn't have support to play it. And like, it wasn't, there's a lot of feelings that go along with that. But
Right.
so I
Right.
stay with football, and I have, and I coach football, and that's, all well and fine, I guess. But the problem is it's almost like I kind of force myself to like it when I only like it. I don't love it. And then I'm just like tired of it, tired of all the stuff. So every year I do get excited to like opening day. I feel like opening day could be like a holiday. I think that'd be kind of cool.
Right.
And so then I get into it that way, but the Red Sox sucked. And so like when your team sucks, you can't expect people to, again, like we keep saying, right? Like it's way too expensive and way too time consuming to watch and participate in this stuff when there's no recourse for us as fans to like actually get what we used to get out of it. Like when our parents were growing up, like sports were it.
Yeah.
Like you didn't have video games. You didn't have like, I guess you had books, I guess you could say, but like books weren't like, they weren't like a media empire. You know what I mean? It wasn't like it was constantly in your face and like, you know, and sports were you really kind of did sports when you were our parents' age because it was like the thing to do, I guess. And it was like, okay, well, we play sports or you do music or whatever.
Right.
And that's, you know, that's all well and good. And it's just so forced when it's not something that you love. Like Danny loves baseball. Like he loves it. I do not. And it's just like I'm saying, it's because it hasn't been good to me. Like baseball has not been a thing that like has like, and I've had to like scrape for everything with baseball. Like, you know, I was done dirty on my, you know, on my high school team. Yeah. And you were done dirty on on the high school team by the same guy. And it's like, you know, and he obviously should not have been coaching high school sports. As a high school coach, I know what the expectations are, and he is not it. Yeah. And the administration should be ashamed of themselves for continuing him as the coach. Because there's a difference, like so we have not been like super successful like wins and losses for sure. We don't have the athletes. We don't have we struggle. We have kids that are first years, and my job as a Hunter baseball coach is to help them as young men become better young men, and then to also set them to teach them different kinds of lessons. That's my job on that team. Right. And I'm more than happy accepting that team, and then I can do it through baseball. Well, so people might not like the head coach, but the head coach is a good coach, and he's a good guy. And it's like, so he is someone that you could have your son play for, and you would be safe having him play for him. And we have kids that went to, you know, D3, you know, colleges and are playing baseball now for them, and it's like, so we, you know, we're doing our job with what we have, and I feel like we're maximizing the talent and level that we have. And so, and I can hang my hat on that. I really couldn't care less about right now the win-loss records. Like if we get a team that maybe has a little bit more to them, then sure, we can talk about like winning region, and region I think is
Holy cow.
Region
Do you
is
have any teammates?
No. Winning region is an acceptable goal, right? Yeah. But then even then it's like I dedicate so much time and so much effort, and the only reason I'm a coach is because I went out and did it. Okay, like I didn't even play all of the years in baseball because of how bad it was and what happened. And so it's like, so I overcame what my coaches in high school set me up for. Right. And so it's like, and that's fine. But that also means that like the love that I have, like I don't love baseball. I like it. I was good at it. I know how to coach it. It's the thing I probably know how to coach the best. You know, we just had a playoff game for soccer today. We lost, but that's okay. We at least made the playoffs, which is nice. Yeah. And so yeah, like all that stuff goes into like all the things that we're discussing.
Right.
And then when your team is bad, it's not fun. Now I will say, playoff baseball is really good, like really fun to watch. So like that's really kind of how I look at it. It's like if your team is not good, it's like okay, like whatever. Way too many games. Like we're not gonna play. They need to shorten the season. It's ridiculous. Like, and I understand they don't want to do that because of like the record books and it's like and traditionalism. It's like no, just get rid of it. Like
Right.
we need to be done. We need to be done with this idea, and we need to shorten the season by a lot. Like
Yeah.
a lot.
Like,
Honestly, the season should probably end as school is starting for the pros.
right.
Like so, and that's like late
September
August.
1st.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's how much we should cut out of the baseball season.
Right.
Or if you want to still make it October, which doesn't make sense because it gets colder in October and then they don't play as well.
Yeah. But
You
if you
then
wanna
just
keep it to
move
our-
then just move opening day. Like that's fine too. Like not a big
Right.
deal. But that's my whole like pitch when it comes to this. Is baseball and they did a better job. I actually like the bigger bases. I like the pitch clock. So to their credit, they did a lot of good stuff. I feel, and so I'm good with that. But the problem still remains that like Jamie. So Jamie, we did T-ball yesterday. It was our last T-ball game for the season. And like he'll play baseball in the spring, but I don't know what. Like Jamie loves like science. Like he's
Right.
not. He's gonna play sports just to like do them, and I'm gonna expose him to a lot of stuff. And if he likes any of them a lot, then he can play that. I would like both my kids to play high school sports, but it could be like track.
Right.
Like just do track. Like maybe there's a new
Whatever-
sport that comes up and they need kids. Like so you could go try doing that.
Yeah.
Like a lot of kids, the first time they ever play golf is in high school
Right.
because they just need kids to play golf, right? And so and it's like I said, I have kids on that baseball team that have never played baseball. Like their first experience playing baseball was just like a little bit ago. And honestly, like if I'm a coach and I'm looking at the situation, I just need to be okay with what it really should be. Like if I want to win and I want to go coach a winning program, then there are winning programs that I can go and try and teach at those high schools, and then go there. Like
Right.
I can do that. Like that's not. Oh, Venusaur, I feel like you might have wasted your ult. And so I can
Yeah.
do that, and that's not a big deal. But I also can just like take kids who don't have like, I mean, my kids don't have dads, most of them. Like I teach a really poor, at a really poor school, and
Right.
and I feel like I know that I'm doing a good job when I have kids that are like, so like the girls finished the JV team finished specifically, and one of the girls was like, are you coming back next year? And it's like, please come back. And it's like, yeah. So I know that I'm doing a good job when that kind of stuff happens.
Right.
And I know that like, and so I know that, that's when I know I did something right.
Whoa! I haven't seen that move. That was
Yeah,
cool.
that's Charizard's old. He's a funny guy. He's a dork. He's a big dork face.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's-
and like I have kids from last year when I taught math, and they're like, "Oh, I need to get in your math class." And it's like, okay. So I know that like I'm doing something right when that kind of stuff happens, and so I just live off of that kind of like I'm just like, okay, yeah, like I did a good job. Obviously, kids like had a fun time with me, and so I don't look at, because I could be a teacher too that's like, okay, I need to get these certain, scores. I need to like, I need to do this or that. And it's like, no, like I'm good with how, I'm just kind of good with how things like are. Oh, I wish yeah, that was poopy.
So who got Yakuza? Is anyone gonna get it?
Rayquaza.
Yeah.
Yakuza is the mafia in Japan.
Oh, right.
Looks like Ninetales is doing a number on him. It'd be nice if our team came in, but nope. They decided not to do that, so that's good.
Wow.
That's good. Oh, look,
Okay.
and there's Venusaur scoring points. Oh, and there's Ninetales about to score points. We lost. Ooh. Well, we lost because people decide that they shouldn't go and protect Rayquaza, so that's good. Don't know what they were doing, and I was dead by that time, so... Oh, good. Good,
Yeah.
good, great, good.
I mean, baseball, and when I was a kid, I
It was
loved
real
it. I was
close,
a
I know.
catcher, but yeah, I loved everything about baseball. But I had one baseball coach that later like bankrupted a little league.
Oh, yeah, I know him.
Yeah,
Yeah, I played because I was in the same league, and we, like, I wasn't...
like he embezzled, and
Yeah. Yeah,
and then the
Yep.
whole league like went under.
he did do that. That
Wow.
did happen. You're right.
Yeah, and I thought he was like a really good coach.
Yeah. Well, and that's
I mean,
the thing.
and
is
he
it's
won.
like,
He won. His teams always won, but it's probably because he could choose his teams.
right. I mean, because if he's embezzling money, who knows what else he's doing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Who
Yeah.
knows what else is going on? Well, they asked my dad to be the commissioner of the league. So because like we were there, like we have all four of us played Babe Ruth, and we
Yeah.
and like me and Danny were there, and we were all stars and like
Yeah.
part of the whole baseball family
yeah,
in West Jordan, Babe Ruth.
yeah.
And yeah, they approached him once about doing it, and he said no. And I think that was actually the year that guy took over, and I'm not sure if it was that same year, or if it was just later. But yeah,
Wow.
and I played with his nephew, and went to school with his nephew.
Oh, wow.
Because I think when that happened, I think I was 14 maybe when that happened, or 13. No, I might have been
was-
younger, maybe 12.
I think I was around 10.
Yeah,
Or
so maybe
11.
13, something like that. But I remember
Yeah.
being in the league when it happened, and it's just like, yeah, like, and Little League
Yeah.
coaches are just, they're just as bad. As it's just like, you don't, like,
You know?
it's great to win, and like if you have kids that like are about it, cool, right?
Right.
Like if you have a team that's like, hey, we could practice every day, and every day we don't have a game, and then we could play, and it's like, you have a bunch of guys like that want to do that, sweet, go do that thing. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
And you can be the coach of those kind of players.
Right.
But if there's people who don't want to do that, then there should still be space for those people, those kids, to do what they need to do and be a part of it. I just stole both of those. Whoopsie.
Yeah.
And so it's just, like
Yeah.
that baseball, and football,
It
even
was-
though I love football, I had a coach who almost broke my arm
Really.
with a cylinder pad. Yeah.
Holy cow.
And he like got kicked out of the league for it, like, because I had bad experiences, and then other kids, I guess, told on him too, and I ended up quitting partway through the year. And it was like, but all I wanted to do was play, and
Yeah.
I should have done more with football because I love it so much. And,
Right.
But
Right. Yeah. I played football one Little League year.
yeah.
We stunk. We were
Oh, yeah,
terrible.
yeah.
I was like in 5th grade, and I didn't
That's
make
when
the
I did it,
A team.
too.
Yeah. I didn't make the A team.
Yeah,
I was on the B team. Yeah.
So was I.
And we didn't score our first touchdown until the last game.
Well, my
and
brother.
My dad had to coach that last game.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm done seeing this.
Right.
And so he coached the last game. And I remember I was safety, and the opposite team did a sweep, and there were like 5 linemen coming right at me.
Right.
And like my team just disappeared. I remember not seeing my team at all. And just
funny.
them.
Yeah, my brother played football a lot of years, and like every team he was on was terrible.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was like, because football is like so specific, and it's like very, like you can kind of get away with other sports, where it's like, okay, I don't necessarily know all the X's and O's, but I know, like, I know the game enough, and so you're not going to maybe lose every game, right? You'll probably win some games and lose some games.
Right.
Basketball, baseball, soccer, like you're probably okay. You're at least going to win or lose some, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But football, it's like if you don't know how to like teach kids how to block, if you don't know how to set the run the right way, if you don't know like why a safety should be where they're supposed to be, or what kind of routes the wide receivers should run and why they should do it, like you're not gonna win.
Yeah.
And so it's like you're taking me down because you're a butt. And so, oh man, this team is so bad. And I'm part of it. I'm just making this team so bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it's just, I don't know, like people just need to understand like what the actual like goal is, and stop pretending like there's something that they're not. Like I went and coached at a high school. I coached the running backs, and I was like super excited because I was gonna, I didn't play football, but I loved it, and so I was gonna learn all this stuff, and I was super excited about it, and it was terrible.
Right.
It was a terrible experience, and it wasn't a terrible experience because of the kids. It wasn't a terrible experience because like we weren't very good. It was a terrible experience because like the head coach was yelling at the other coaches as if we were children, and it was like you don't talk to adults that way.
Right.
And we all kind of like, and like the football culture is what football culture is, and so I didn't really know much about it, and I kind of just went with it. But eventually I was like, I have an anxiety disorder, and I tried to explain that to him. It's like, you got to understand, like, I can give you this, but I can't give you that. And like, I missed a practice because I was having a panic attack, and he got mad at me because I didn't call him. It's like, and I'm not even mad about the coach. I'm not saying that he did anything wrong.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, it's like this. I was very upfront with you, and this is who I am, and these are the needs I have, and if you can help me with those needs, then I can help you. And the thing is like, and I'll be loyal to you. Yeah. But if you can't do those things, then it's like I can't be a part of this team, and I can't. And like we had a guy, so he was I don't know if you remember the kid that came out of Utah and went to Washington State, like, and he played for Washington State, and he was like a highly recruited kid, right? And he coached the kid, and he took state, like that team. So he was a state winning offensive coordinator, and he just he did the same thing to that guy, and it's like, so
the head coach yelled at the
the head coach like constantly got on that guy's case too, and it's like, so it's one thing that you're the head coach and like you want things done a certain way, but it's like he knows more than you about offense. Like you don't know more than he does. Right. And like your ego is, and like I don't not like this guy. He had a really hard life, and he's a good guy. He actually coaches still, and he played against Hunter this year, and I saw him and waved at him. And I still like him. He's still a good guy. But the thing is like your ego like you have to put your ego in check. Yeah. Like you can't you can't keep you can't do what coaches do and expect it to go any different. And like, this game is going so bad. I am so not even invested in this game. I just barely got to level 9. Oh, brother.
Yeah, I mean, we've had terrible coaches, but man, when you're a coach with like the head coach, it's like, dude, it's the same thing as if you're at work. You have to treat your employees and your colleagues as a professional.
Right.
You can't just scream at them, especially in front of your kid. And kids you're supposed to be teaching.
Right.
I mean,
well, and that's the whole thing is like, so that's why that stuff like kind of happens that way, and you end up like in a bad situation.
Right.
And so, and it's like, and again, it's like you have to know like what you are and what you're not.
Right.
And like sometimes what you're not is a bunch of world beaters who are gonna win all the time or win, you know, championships. Like like we only won one game last year in baseball, right. And it's like, of course I don't want that always to be the case, but it's like we had a team that was kind of the same thing I'm talking about, just egomaniacs that wouldn't listen. Like I literally told a kid once, like I looked him in the eyes and I said, "Do not run. Our best hitter is up. So don't go. Oh, that sucks. Don't go home. Don't go home at all." Very next pitch, he went home. It's like, so I'm sorry, but I can't do anything about that. I cannot do anything if I look you in the eyes and I say, "Don't go home," and you go home anyways. So it's like you are just not listening because you're being like you're whatever the reason, like I don't even know what to say about that when that happened. It was just like,
oh man, I don't know if I'd have the patience.
Well, and that's the thing is you can't. That's why coaches leave. It's because it's like, and parents don't know what they're talking about, and then they pretend that they do know what they're talking about.
Right.
And then what happens is like parents get mad and parents like tell you off and all that stuff, and it's like, and then it just becomes a worse situation.
Yeah. And
you're sitting there thinking to yourself, okay, why do I do this to myself? And they just. And like kids are dumb because kids now think that like they should have any say in like what goes on, and it's like you have no say. Like, right. I'm the coach. If you want to talk to me about like, hey, could we like try this play that I made up? It's like, yeah, I'll humor kids who like give an effort like that. But if I have a kid that tells me I'm going to do this and not this, it's like, no, that's not what we're doing.
No.